Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Let's talk about Shameless, Season 8, Episode 5. It was an okay episode. So let's start off with Carl. Carl finds out that he has not got his enrollment papers. He's not going to be enrolled into military school, and he loses his scholarship because there's another kid that is 50% some other type of Indian nationality. So he needs to come up with $12,000 by August 1st. So he's running with his brother Ian by a church. Ian sees his church. He thinks this church is going to be wonderful for the homeless shelter and for the at-risk kids right there. So anyways, but in the meantime, Carl has, a drug addict that's in his basement. And he's having that drug addict detox in his basement, shine his shoes and everything, treating him like, his prisoner. And everybody in the house knows that he has this guy that is held hostage in his basement. But Frank thinks it's a wonderful idea. It's just like detox or whatever. So, Carl, he steals Fiona's car. He becomes an Uber driver and all that other stuff, but he's not making no money doing that. Then he also goes to Fiona's job and wants to clean out the oil traps or whatever. It looks so nasty, so filthy, so disgusting. Like, sometimes that's the reason why I don't want to eat out in places. I don't want to eat because eat out at places because you don't know how clean they are, if they actually clean, their devices and their grease trap and shit like that. It's so nasty. So, but he's able to get the drug addict clean, and he's clean now, and he's gonna go back to Juilliard, and plus, he's living a sobriety life. So he comes back with his girlfriend with $5,000 to get her clean because they've been going to rehab and he's never got clean. And then there's somebody else that wants to use the bum ghost bear trap to catch somebody else, and they're gonna give him $2,500. So it looks like Carl is going to make his money back. Go Carl. I'm saying Carl be doing it. He be coming up. He goes, if there's a will, there's a way. He is taking the military thing to the fullest. And also the drug addict that was locked in his basement is going to return, the purple medal to the veterinarian veterinarian to the Vietnam vet or the war veteran. So it's like, okay, cool. So that's Carl little thing going on. And then we have Debbie. Debbie basically, she's doing good right now. She's happy. There she goes like that. She's good. She's happy right now. She has a good job, and she's about to graduate from welding school and everything. Everything's going good. But she wants to go out with her friends. She's been hanging out with her friends drinking. I don't think that's such a good idea because she's not 21 yet, and she still have, DCYF might still be in her life, or child services still might be in her life right now. But anyways, the baby's friend's grandmother, has been watching her with everything. It's all good, but she's at the bar, she's getting drunk, she's drinking, and they're all talking about their test that they're gonna have, and she's like, one of her friends are like, yo, let's go get some drugs, and we go out of town, whatever. Friends like, I don't have a babysitter. Then Fran was like, oh, you know what, I can let my grandmother watch the baby or whatever. So she goes over to the grandmother's house, check on Fran or whatever, and she finds out that Fran's baby's father, Derek, is there with his girlfriend, and she's upset, she's mad. She grabs the baby, she snatches the baby, and she's so hurt. She's full of pain, and she's in shock that she's seeing him and all the suffering that she's been going through. Now he just shows up and he has another woman, and then on top of that, he's hiding. It was no sorries, no nothing. And so she leaves, and she ends up getting up with one of her classmates, and they end up doing E together with Fran in the back seat. That sounds like danger. That sounds like trouble. That sounds like, something possibly could happen where her baby is taken away from her. Like, they can get into a car accident. They can get pulled over by the cops. And anything can happen because she's under the influence of E. And I think this is the first time Fran has ever used E. And she don't really know this guy. He's her classmate. He's 10 times older than her. So I'm thinking that there's going to be some backlash, and the baby's father's going to find out and going to try to take the baby, or Fran is going to end up hooking back up with Derek. We're going to see that storyline. If Fran is going to fight his new girlfriend, we'll see what happens with that situation. If DCYF still tries to come back after her, I'm like, damn. And so then on top of that, then we get to, Lip, his situation. Lip is still having sex with the girl in the garage. I mean, they have a crazy, wild sex, like 3 to 4 times a day, and she's beating him up. I mean, she's just scarring him up. And he's just into it because he needs some type of affection. He needs something to obsess about. He needs something to be next to. He needs to be doing something. Like, he can't just focus on working in the shop, making money, or going back to school. He got to focus on being in a bad relationship. And even though his sponsor, Brad, told him not to get into a relationship with somebody, if you want to just have sex with somebody, just have sex with somebody, but no commitments because you're going through this period. So anyways, Brad has his baby. He's going through a lot of drama, a lot of trials and tribulations where he can't handle it. It's like, he's falling asleep. He's missing the signed paychecks. He has to keep running around with the baby. And it's just like, you could see, like, watching the episode, you knew like he was going to go back on alcohol. And so he asks Lip to bring the checks to his house. Lip brings the checks to his house, and when he does, the lady, his wife, is breastfeeding, and Lip is like, oh my God. So it's like Lip wants a child. He wants a family. Because he feels like something is missing because he doesn't have alcohol. So he's trying to put things in his life to fill that void, but he's not actually working on the reason why he drink and the emptiness that he has inside and why he latches on to people. So anyways, his sponsor Brad tells him, hey, listen, you got to find a new sponsor and all this other stuff. And so Lip goes to the shop or whatever, and then the girl that he's having sex with tells him that Brad just left. He's around the corner, and Lip sees that he's at the bar, and Lip is just like, yo. He tries to get him out the bar. Brad ends up beating the shit out of Lip. Lip didn't even get one hit in, and Brad drives off. So I'm thinking that either Brad's going to get arrested, or he's going to get into a car accident, or he is going to commit suicide or something like that, because he can't handle the pressure of not drinking and the pressure of having this newborn baby. And it seems like another person has disappointed Lip. Another person has let Lip down. Another person that Lip tried to reach out to has hurt him. So hopefully Lip does not turn to drugs and alcohol. I'm like, yo, it's just crazy. I couldn't believe Brad beat his ass. And it was like, damn, Lip, your purpose was to get the goddamn keys from Brad, but you couldn't even do that. Like, come on, Lip. Carl would have got them keys. Ian would have got them keys. And so we get on to Fiona. She's cleaning up her neighborhood. She's with Nessa. Nessa's helping her put up security cameras. Her property's coming along well, but basically the church that Ian saw, he actually wants to purchase that church and buy that church with Trevor or whatever. But Fiona actually wants these two brothers to buy this church so they can remodel the place, and do everything, make it better. And they have the money, and they have the tools to support it and to bring the property value up, because basically Fiona's trying to fix up the neighborhood. She's caring. Fiona has turned a different leaf where it's not that she doesn't care about the neighborhood anymore, but now she has something invested. She owns something, so it's not like tearing up the property, or who doesn't care about property anymore. She's totally turned herself around. But in the meantime, Ian and Trevor is trying to purchase this property. So they go look at the property, they like it, and so Trevor brings Ian to a lunch date, whatever, to get some money from a donor. The donor gives them the 10 grand to pay the leasing fees. And basically Fiona's boss owns the shop, and owns the church. So Fiona talks to her boss about the church or whatever. She's like, I did have 2 buyers, but they're not interested. And Fiona's trying to get somebody to buy the place. She's trying to clean it up. She has Carl out there spray painted, doing like street art. She's cleaning up the needles around the place. She's just really trying to make the place a better place, basically. And so now she's chasing down buyers. She can't afford to buy the place because it's $200,000, and she don't want to buy the place, but she wants somebody that can actually keep up the property because it's too much for her to remodel and all that other good stuff. So she's trying to get people to buy the church. She's talking to Nessa's girlfriend. Nessa gives her the name and the number of the people that was buying the church. But first she had Fiona say, I want you to grovel and tell me that you are a master cunt, or you're some type of cunt. Fiona had to say that she's a mega cunt. I was like, yo, to get the information. But she got the information, and the reason why Nessa's girlfriend helped her, because she doesn't want some fancy baker move in and charge her like $20 for a bagel, because she only makes $3,500 a year. Wonder what she do that at. And so Fiona is getting everything together, and to contact the guys to actually purchase the church and talk to her boss, because her boss owns the property. But in the meantime, Trevor and Ian is trying to get, they got the money to get it leased or whatever. And so Trevor goes to Ian and tells Ian, hey, listen, there's nothing that we can do. They have a potential buyer, and they're not leasing it anymore, so it's over with. So Ian was like, we need to ask for more money or whatever, more something, more money, blah blah blah. And so Trevor was like, look, let's just give up. So but Ian goes over there to the guy's house, because Ian was telling Trevor that he knows the guy from the bar that Ian used to work at, that he used to give him blowjobs inside the handicap stall so he can hold on to it. And so Ian goes over there to the house, and the guy was like, I don't have any money. You're gonna try to blackmail me? Because Ian's trying to blackmail the guy. It's like, hey, listen, I need about 35 grand, $35,000. And the guy was like, I don't got no money. And he was like, oh, you're gonna try to tell my wife on me? And the wife came to the door, and he's like, this is the redhead I was telling you about that gives good blowjobs or whatever. And so then the wife was like, I wonder if you can do it on the opposite sex too as well. Come on, do it for the kids. And Ian goes in and he do it for the kids, but he's really doing it for Trevor, to make Trevor happy. But he also do want the kids to be in a safe place. I can understand why Fiona don't want that next. So nobody will want that type of environment next to them, because you never know, because they're trying to get help, but before they get help, they're gonna be roaming around, and it's not gonna be safe, because until they can actually get the help that they need, they are risk. They are in danger of hurting other people around them. But you know what? They got to build it somewhere, and they're gonna build it in any community that they need to. Well, they need deemed to fit or whatever. So, anyways, so Ian gets the money, but before then, Ian and Trevor actually makes out, and they make out after eating Chinese food, and they kiss, and then they kind of like touching each other, whatever. So I don't know if does Trevor actually have a sex change, or does Trevor still have a JJ? Because if not, that means Ian was down there playing with the JJ. So does that mean Ian is kind of like bisexual or what? Or did Trevor have on the dildo? Or did Trevor actually have a sex change? You tell me. I'm not even sure about that. So I always thought Trevor carried a dildo. So they make out. I was like, oh shit, Ian got his man back. He's been chasing him down, doing everything. That's what you call. Ian knew he messed up or whatever. So anyways, Fiona's sitting down there with her boss or whatever, and they're about to sell to the two brothers, the two op brothers, that's going to change the place around and make it better. But Ian walks up, he finds out, he interrupts the meeting, he starts to talk to the lady that's selling church. He was like, hi, here's the money, we want to put a payment on it. And then Fiona was like, no, these guys are purchasing it. And so then the boss is like, then who's this? And Fiona goes, that's my brother. And goes, that's my sister. So Fiona brings Ian outside, and she starts yelling at Ian and telling him he can't buy the church, it's bringing down the community and blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. She doesn't want him, and he really wants it. And so I'm surprised Ian just walked away. I hope Ian doesn't walk away and get back on drugs or have a breakdown, or just feel like all the things that he did to get that $35,000. But imagine that $35,000 Ian could do to better his life and his brothers and sisters' life, or himself or whatever. But he's looking to better other people's life. But that's 35 grand that he can change a lot of his life around. But I think in this point, Ian is satisfied with where he's at, and he really wants this for Trevor and the at-risk kids. So I don't know if Ian's going to go behind Fiona's back, or if the two brothers are not going to fall through, or if he's going to find another place, or is he just going to have a panic attack or breakdown about the situation. Because I'm surprised Ian just walked away. But Ian did ask Fiona, did they sign any papers? And she said no. So maybe Ian might get up in there and get that business and get that church. So we'll see what happens with that. But we'll see how Trevor and Ian came really close. And it's like Ian really cares about him. But it seems like Ian really has somebody that is good for him. Kinda. Other than, Trevor bringing him to the bar to have sex with all them big old guys, the chubby chasers or whatever. And you can't say the same for Lip, because Lip's situation is just horrendous. He's just getting beat up. He wants a child. He doesn't factor all the hardness and all the pressure that Brad is going through. He just wants what he thinks is going to make him better, because he even looks over at what's her name, Sierra, and at the cafe, and looking at her, thinking about like being with her, because he just wants his own family, just wants some type of love. But he has to work within him first, and then accomplish his thing that he needs to accomplish, because with his IQ and everything, he's wasting it away in the shop. But when we see Carl is fighting for what he wants. He wants that education. He wants to be in the military. He wants to be at the top of his game, and he's not letting anything interfere with that. He don't even do drugs. Well, he just smokes weed or whatever, and he don't drink like that or whatever. And so, but Debbie, I just think that Debbie is going to have a really bad situation. Oh my goodness, with getting high on E. And then Frank is participating in Liam's life or whatever. Liam fails a test. The teacher comes up to him, is like, yo, he failed these tests. He didn't know these questions. He didn't know the answer. He put sniffing glue. He didn't know he said the foyer was outside. He was like, these questions are culturally biased. When you know that underprivileged kids do not know these answers, how would he know what a foyer is? And then on top of that, I see how you use my son to promote diversity. And then the other parents found out about it at the PTA, because Frank is trying to get some PTA parents, and they changing the system. They're changing these culturally biased tests, and that's something that's been going on for years and a lot of different schools all over the place, not only just private schools, where they will create these tests that they know that these kids in these certain neighborhoods would not be able to pass this test, so the tests were biased for the school, for the kids to fail, basically, because they didn't have the type of equipment to really even answer the questions, or the classrooms wasn't even equipped, and everything. So this is something that has happened over and over in reality. So Frank found out that he ended up having sex with one of the parents. She ended up hooking him up and making sure that Liam is surviving, and Liam got an A. He was congratulated, and Liam is but you also got to understand, they was taking Liam out of class and everything, where he couldn't focus on his education because he was too busy being a mascot for the school. And then they're gonna try to throw him out. Isn't that just how they do you? They use you up and then just throw you out like you don't mean nothing. So and then actually it was so funny when Liam asked Frank to read to him, and Liam was like, that's what the kids tell me their father does. And Frank was like, okay, read it. And it was nice to see Frank read to Liam, so that was cool. And so Carl's actually doing something really good. He's actually curing people that are drug addicted. Too bad he didn't use it for Frank. And he and if Lip actually slip, he can go back. And also Brad might still be alive, and he can go to Carl's rehab in the basement with the bear trap. That'd be cool, right? So I don't know how Trevor's gonna take the situation with not getting to church. And is he going to be upset at Carl? I mean, upset at Ian, because he didn't fight for the church harder. We'll see how that works out. And then I was just like, and then Kev and V. So Kev and V and Spilona, they got the bar back or whatever. And Spilona, she's making more money because she's serving alcohol and coke at the same damn time. And then Kev is up in the bar acting like there was like, the difference between Southern and Western. He don't even know. So Kev is so into this, Kentucky thing, being country, being a redneck, being a hillbilly, that he's not really focused on the bar. So that's the problem with Kevin, because Kevin he's just like a nowhere's man. And then Spilona, I keep saying her name, Spelana, she is always arguing with V. Well, her and V are getting into it because V is still attracted and still in love with Spelona. I can't Salona. With the Russian lady. She's still in love with the Russian lady. And the Russian lady was like, yo, do you see how dumb you are? You don't even know how to count math. You overpaid the vendors more money. And it's just like, damn, like, Spelona, she just has it down packed. Like, she knows how to run the bar. She knows how to do it all all right. And it's just like, won't they let her do it? But she did do them dirty. And V is like, yo, you didn't even apologize to me and shit like that. And she feels bad about that way. So they have a meeting, and Spilona, Spinlana, she ends up going down on V and doing it and doing it and doing it. Wow. And so then V goes back home. She tells Kevin. Kevin was like, did she do that little thing with her tongue? Did you come a lot? Did she use 2 or 3 fingers? And he was just so into it. And it's just like, he was like, no, she's using me. And no, it can't work. But V is actually still in love with her and everything. So we're gonna see how that plays out. Are they gonna actually get back together? Are they gonna kick Kev out the situation? Because Kev is just like a dummy. Or what's gonna happen with that bar? Are they actually gonna come together and make money together and get along? Or are they gonna continue to try to do dirty stuff to each other on the low? So that's going to be something to see what happens with that situation. Are they actually gonna split everything 3 ways? Are they gonna get back into a relationship together? Because Kev, he wants to forgive. He's good with forgiving. Like he's golden with that. So I was like, yeah, I'm just worried about, what's his name? Brad, like what's going to happen to him, and is that going to cause lip to break down or whatever. So we'll see what happens. Peace. I'm out. One love.